Earthquake hits multiple states throughout the U.S.
The United States are running out of cell phone airways.
And the Dow saw something they haven't seen since 2008. 10 News starts now. Good evening, Oswego, and welcome to WTOP 10 Tuesday Night News, your connection to Oswego and beyond. I'm Dan Myers.
And I'm Samantha Damasio. Today is February 21st, and this is your news, sports, and weather, all before the first commercial break. Let's take a look at your top stories. 10 News starts right now.
Residents across 13 states reported feeling a 4.0 magnitude earthquake that hit southeastern Missouri earlier today. The U.S. Geological Survey reported that the quake struck just before 4 this morning Central Time. The USGS also reported the furthest location that felt the quake was Bern, North Carolina, more than 800 miles east from the epicenter. About 5 miles from the epicenter in East Prairie, Missouri, the city administrator reports things falling off shelves and walls, but no major damages have been reported yet, though reports of underground line breaks are expected.
The U.S. mobile phone industry is running out of the airways that allow you to make calls. The problem, known as a spectrum crunch, threatens to increase the number of dropped calls, slow down data speeds, and raise customers' prices. The wireless spectrum, the invisible infrastructure over which all wireless transmissions travel, is a finite resource. Experts agree network traffic is increasing, but demand will soon exceed the available spectrum.
It was a sight investors have waited 4 years to see. The Dow Jones Industrial Average broke the 13,000 mark today for the first time in the U.S. since the financial crisis began. The last time the Dow crisis closed above 13,000 was on May 19, 2008. Now, when I was walking to class today, it wasn't too bad today, but coming to the studio tonight, it was a little bit too windy, more windy than I would like.
Always, the night that we come in, hair's done, wind's blowing everywhere. Pat, has the wind died down at all out there?
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, it's still a little breezy out here, but certainly not as bad as it was earlier. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Pat Havlin. Let's take a look at our current conditions outside right now. On the lake shore, we're seeing overcast skies and 35 degrees. Our winds have died down, as I mentioned. They're now variable at 3 miles an hour. As we take a look at our national radar image, you can see most of the action is in the northern part of the country as the south remains pretty quiet. We've got some snow and rain showers in the northeast. And as we take a look at our 3-day outlook, our temperatures will remain mild in the low to mid 40s, but unsettled as we go into Friday. Is that weather going to stick around for your weekend? Stay tuned and we'll take a look at your full forecast coming up. But right now, we'll send it back to the desk.
All right, thanks, Pat. Well, it may be cold out there tonight, but it was a hot one in Laker Hall today.
Tonight, the basketball team played their first SUNYAC playoff game. Alan Wenger is live from Laker. How's it going, Al?
Thanks, guys. Now, the Lakers played their...
We have Alan. I'm sorry, we've been having technical difficulties, but now we have Alan with his basketball update.
Held on Friday. Now the Lakers play at 8 p.m. on Friday against Brockport, who just beat Buffalo State tonight, 89-83. Now what makes this game so significant is that Oswego played Brockport last year in the semifinal game, and they lost, unfortunately. Coincidentally, that was the last time the Lakers lost to a SUNYAC opponent. But luckily, the Lakers have beat Brockport twice this year, which means that their chances are looking pretty good. Now, the Lakers have never won a SUNYAC tournament this year, but they have a lot of people pulling for them this year. Also, at 6 p.m. on Friday, the other semifinal game will be played here. That'll be between Cortland and Geneseo. Now, WTOP will be covering both of those games, so I suggest that you tune in for your complete SUNYAC semifinal coverage. That's all I have. Let's send it back to the desk.
All right, thank you, Alan. Fueled by pure adrenaline, a Michigan teen managed to lift a car, saving the life of his 74-year-old grandfather who was trapped underneath.
BC O'Leary has the story.
Austin and his grandfather were working on this 1991 Buick Century. They'd worked on cars before. It was nothing new, but something went terribly wrong when suddenly Austin's grandfather found himself penned underneath the car.
I was just so scared, I didn't know what to do.
It was Saturday morning.
These center blocks right here were up parallel and the top end was up higher.
Austin Smith and his grandfather, Papa Ernie, were at home trying to fix the brakes on this old clunker. The 91 Buick was propped up on cinder blocks, and Papa Ernie was underneath.
I was inside, just like this, and here pumping the brakes like this, and I felt it rock just slightly.
The 15-year-old got out. Moments later, the car collapsed.
All I could think of was just getting the car off of him, and that's what I did.
The vehicle weighs over 2,000 pounds. Austin lifted the front end high enough for his 74-year-old grandfather to escape. How'd he do it? Even he doesn't know.
I have no clue, probably out of adrenaline. I mean, I couldn't do it right now.
Thank God he was here, because it's just been me and his grandmother, you know, it would have been over.
He suffered a serious cut on his face, fractured ribs, and eye socket. Both have learned sometimes you just don't know what you're capable of doing until there's no other choice but to do it.
We're very close, and I think it'll definitely make us closer.
Well, he's a wonderful young man, you know, it's all I can say.
Ministers finalized the deal this morning for a second bailout for Greece, including 100 billion euros. Although this new deal does provide short-term relief for Greece, hard times are still ahead as the government attempts to trim the country's debt from 160% of gross domestic product to 121% of GDP by 2020. The Eurogroup stated that the new program will give financial stability in Greece and in the euro area as a whole, but also stated that the people of Greece need to further their efforts to return their economy to a growth path.
Earlier today, Deputy Head of Iran's Armed Forces, General Mohammad Hijazi, announced his country will strike against enemy threats even if there is no enemy action taken first. Hijazi's remarks are a result of high tensions between Iran and much of the world. Iran insists its nuclear program is for civilian purposes, but numerous countries are concerned Tehran is working to build a nuclear weapons arsenal. Officials with International Atomic Energy Agency began a second round of talks Monday with Iranian officials in an effort to find clarity about their possible military dimensions.
Well, it's the playoff atmosphere here on campus with the hockey and basketball teams both making playoffs. And yeah,
all right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Now we'll see what's going on in sports with Zach Fischel.
Well, thank you, Sam. And one of those teams is the women's ice hockey team, which tickets went on sale today in the ECAC playoffs. The first playoff game in the program's history will be this Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Ticket prices are currently $8 for adults and $3 for students with a valid college ID. The girls will be playing against Newman College, which finished the season with a similar record of 9-12-2. Both teams are looking to make significant noise in the ECAC playoffs, as well as improve their overall records closer to the 500 mark. And now back to the desk with Dan and Sam.
On May 22, 2008, Chauncey Winchell picked up Mark Murray from a mutual friend's house in Syracuse. Mark Murray was never seen alive again, and 2 years later, and miles away from Syracuse, Murray's skeletal remains were found in a shallow grave with 222 caliber slugs in his skull. Fast forward again to this afternoon, where after nearly 3 weeks of testimony from over 40 witnesses, a jury found Chauncey Winchell guilty of first-degree murder and 8 other charges. Winchell will be sentenced on May 1st, where the assistant district attorney says he will push for a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole.
Oswego police charged a man with attempted robbery today after a gunpoint holdup Monday at the corner of Ontario and Lake. According to Captain Michael Beckwith, 20-year-old Cameron McKenna of West Oneida Street is accused of approaching a man, pointing an air pistol at him, and demanding money. McKenna was charged with attempted robbery and criminal possession of a weapon. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call police at 342-8120.
Actor Giancarlo Esposito from AMC's hit series Breaking Bad will be in Syracuse next week. Esposito will discuss his career next Tuesday night at 7 at the Coyne Center for the Performing Arts at Lemoyne College. Doors open at 6:30 and tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for seniors, and Syracuse and Lemoyne students can attend for free. For more information or to reserve tickets, go to www.syrfilm.com or call 445-0692.
As we take a look at our radar here, you can see some scattered showers moving through our area. How long are those going to last? We'll have a full look at the forecast coming up next.
Canale's Italian Restaurant, serving the Oswego community since 1954. Located at 156 West Utica Street, always featuring family-style Italian cuisine. Also in stock are Canale's frozen dinners, sauces, and dressings. Dine in, take out, or delivery on or off campus. 315-343-3540 and online at canalesrestaurant.com. Hong Kong Chinese Restaurant, located at 41 West Bridge Street with all of your Chinese food favorites, as well as sushi. Open late every day. Takeout and delivery available both on and off campus. 315-342-8553 and online at www.hongkong68.com.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Attention skiers and snowboarders, after more than 2 years of planning, the first annual Oswego Rail Jam is here. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, come to the quad this Saturday afternoon at 1 for this competition for rails, jibs, and shredding features. Any Oswego student can compete, and there will be prizes and giveaways for both riders and spectators. For more information on the event, search SUNY Oswego Rail Jam on Facebook.
If you have had your fair share of experience living on campus, now is your chance to consider housing options in the surrounding Oswego community. There will be more information available tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Campus Center Concourse. Stop by and explore your options.
Well, I've been waiting since last break to see the rest of our forecast with Pat.
Absolutely, so I can plan my outfits for the rest of the week. Now let's take a full look at your forecast with meteorologist Pat Calvin.
And good evening again, Oswego. I am Chief Meteorologist Pat Calvin. Let's take a look at your current conditions outside right now. At the WeatherTap satellite image, we've got these grays and whites here indicating cloud coverage extending all the way from the Ohio River Valley into the northeast and New England sections, and that is reflected in our very own current conditions here. Taking a look right now, overcast skies outside, 35 degrees is where we are at this hour. Our dew point's at 32. That's giving us a relative humidity of 89%. And our winds are variable at 3 miles an hour, so not as bad as earlier this afternoon. Taking a look at our almanac for today, we hit a high temperature of 40 degrees. Our low is 17, so above average on the high and well below average on the low. And we just had a trace of precipitation, surprisingly enough, even with all those rain and snow showers out there. So nothing too substantial. And our sunset, look at this, getting later every day, was at 5:44. Taking a look at the current temperatures around New York State, 46 in the Big Apple, 39 in our state capital. As we go up the Hudson, 34 in Glens Falls, that's our cold spot. And across the rest of New York State, we're in the mid to upper 30s. As we take a look at, now this is something I wanted to show everybody. I thought this was pretty interesting. The Syracuse snowfall. This year we have been well below our average. Last year, if we look at this time, we were just below 150 inches. This year, just about 3 feet of snow. So significantly lower than what we had last year. Now, how does that compare to our average? This time, we should be at about 95 inches. That leaves us with a departure this year of 58 inches. So really, a significantly and very notably dry winter. So as we take a look, if that's going to change at all, we've got this cold front that's sweeping across the country, extending from Alberta down to the Gulf of Mexico. As I mentioned, that's pushing across the country, and that's what gave us our showers today. But as we look behind it, pretty clear conditions, dry conditions extending through the south. As we take a closer look into our area, we've got the snow and the rain showers even mixing in with that southerly breeze. That's bringing the warmer air up and changing a lot of the snow showers into rain. So no accumulating snows in the forecast for Oswego, but maybe as we go north towards the Tug Hill, we could get some snow later tonight. As we take a look at our predictive satellite and radar here, for 1 a.m. we got the snow and rain showers just to the east of Lake Ontario. As we go into 7 a.m., you're going out to classes, that pushes out of the region, and we even get some breaks in the clouds, but not before our next system moves in here from the Ohio River Valley, and that'll be making its way into our area into the latter part of tomorrow afternoon, giving us some rain showers. So as we take a look at tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy with some rain and snow showers, ending late as we go into the early morning hours. Our low temperature, we're pretty much there right now in Oswego at 35. The temperatures may be a little lower as you go inland towards Minetto and Fulton, but not too much lower. And as I mentioned, we might have some snow accumulating north in the Tug Hill, about 1 to 3 inches, nothing too substantial. As we go into tomorrow, as I mentioned, morning sun and clouds will develop, or rather showers will develop as we go into the latter part of the day. 43 degrees though, I'm not complaining for the late part of February. That is a nice temperature to see in this part of New York. And as we take a look at our 5-day forecast, the week ends on a rainy note, but mild temperatures, so not complaining there. Our temperatures will end the week in the low 40s, but as we go into Saturday, a cold front sweeps through the region and brings us some snow showers and much colder temperatures before finally clearing out on Sunday. But once we hit Sunday, our temperatures will struggle to reach the freezing mark.
It's not what I want to hear. I want that warm weather to come right now.
Well, it's looking like we could be in for an early spring. A lot of the long-range forecast models are suggesting a milder spring than normal.
Well, it's definitely been a confusing winter.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has, for sure.
All right. And when we come back, we'll have your political segment from James Canale. But first, take a look at your late night menu.
Canale's Italian restaurant, serving the Oswego community since 1954. Located at 156 West Utica Street, always featuring family-style Italian cuisine. Also in stock are Canale's frozen dinners, sauces, and dressings. Dine in, take out, or delivery on or off campus. 315-343-3540 and online at canalesrestaurant.com.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Hong Kong Chinese Restaurant, located at 41 West Bridge Street with all of your Chinese food favorites, as well as sushi. Open late every day. Takeout and delivery available both on and off campus. 315-342-8553 and online at www.hongkong68.com.
This is Jimmy Canale here from WTOP Monday Night News. Well, this is my last week on air until next semester, so today I wanted to discuss with you the importance of political science and political ideologies. In today's society where the younger generations would much rather watch American Idol and Dancing with the Stars instead of the presidents of the United States, it's extremely scary because politics is important. So today I'd like to show you online the world's smallest political quiz, which will help you determine your political ideology and your political thinking. So the first thing you want to do is go on Google's homepage and then type in world's smallest political quiz. You can see it comes up right there in the search bar. And go on www.theadvocates.org/quiz, which is a libertarian website. And it'll give you a very short quiz, 10 questions, and you have to agree or disagree, and then that will determine your political thinking. I know many of you may think politics is a boring subject, but it's not, and it can be very interesting if you put the time and effort into learning something about politics. So please take that quiz, and next semester when I see you on WTOP, hopefully you'll have a better understanding of the subject. Thanks a lot. I'm Jimmy Canale.
With the final Republican presidential debate before the primaries in Arizona and Michigan set for tomorrow night, a new CNN and Time survey shows Rick Santorum may be closing the gap with Mitt Romney in Arizona as the top nominee. According to the poll, 36% of people likely to vote in Arizona's February GOP presidential primary are backing Romney as the nominee, while Santorum is just 4 points behind in the poll. But because the margin is within the survey sampling error, they are basically tied for the top spot. Although they may be tied, the poll also states that a third of all likely votes could change their mind. Voters.
President Barack Obama's corporate tax reform plans are set to unveil tomorrow. Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner says that the plan will be an effort to find common ground on broad principles between Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill. Senior administration officials say the plan will be consistent with his commitment to fairness and the message he delivered in the State of the Union address.
Well, Syracuse is on their way to another trip to March Madness, and the trade deadline is on its way. So,
all right, well, let's take a full look at sports with Zach Fischel.
Thank you, Sam. Ready?
Do that. 2, 1. Well, the Syracuse basketball team will continue their great run to the NCAA tournament when they take on the University of South Florida tomorrow. Syracuse is currently riding a 20-0-1 record and will be playing against a USF squad riding a 4-game winning streak. The Orange's second-to-last home game will be before their Big East championship, as the Southern Florida Bulls have beaten Providence College, Villanova, and Pittsburgh twice in their last 4. The game starts at 7 o'clock in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. And the NHL trade deadline is closing in and is drawing lots of eyes. The deadline date, which is set for Monday, February 27th, is causing teams to wheel and deal for any players that might help their respected clubs. Trades already made involve key players such as Kyle Quincy, Steve Downey, and Pavel Kubina. More trades are to be on the way, but the prized asset in this deadline week is expected to be Rick Nash. The Blue Jackets' right winger and former first-round pick has already been targeted by the Kings, Rangers, and the Flyers. Overall, at the end of the deadline, there's expected to be new noise made and new looks for many NHL clubs. And finally, the Los Angeles Lakers held a players-only meeting today. The meeting was initiated by team leaders Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher. The meeting was decided on after the Lakers' win against the Trailblazers last night. The meeting was to sources to clear some air so that there would be a suitable tone for the second half of the season. The meeting had a lot of anxiety in it, as overshadowing the meeting were possible trade rumors of Laker power forward Paul Gasol and what his future with the team would be. The Lakers take on the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. in hopes of starting off the second half of their season in the right way. Now that's it for sports. Now back over to the news desk with Dan and Sam.
All right, thank you, Zach. When we come back, we will have the lighter side of news for you.
But first, take a look at your community calendar. Stay tuned.
Canale's Italian restaurant, serving the Oswego community since 1954. Located at 156 West Utica Street, always featuring family-style Italian cuisine. Also in stock are Canale's frozen dinners, sauces, and dressings. Dine in, take out, or delivery on or off campus. 315-343-3540 and online at canalesrestaurant.com.
The Oswego MBA program helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Hong Kong Chinese Restaurant, located at 41 West Bridge Street with all of your Chinese food favorites, as well as sushi. Open late every day. Takeout and delivery available both on and off campus. 315-342-8553 and online at www.hongkong68.com.
Here's a dive into the lighter side of news. Leave it to cleavage, it never fails to attract the eyeballs.
But it makes you wonder when the wandering eyes seem to be directed toward a royal bosom. Jeannie Mose has more.
Did the husband of Finland's president get caught sneaking a peek at a gala? Sure, it happens to teenage boys with raging hormones. One minute you're zoning out while zooming in math class. The next minute...
So I is an imaginary number.
You're nabbed, but this was the husband of Finland's president, seemingly ogling Princess Mary of Denmark. The giveaway may be the guilty look up to the ceiling as she covers her bosom, though maybe he was just inspecting her jewels. At least the princess didn't tell him to focus, as singer Nicole Scherzinger did to Conan.
They asked me to be a guest judge. Focus, Conan. To be, they asked me...
Finally, let's be real here for a second.
Speaking of...
You didn't think I was gonna look down there?
I think...
Poor guys, betrayed by even a subtle lowering of their eyelids.
My eyes are up here, Donnie. Bring it out. No, bring it out.
And if a woman is going to show cleavage like that, a man is allowed to look.
But this is a girl's best accessory.
Yes.
Up, up, up. Pictures can make guys look like boobs even when they're innocent. Remember President Obama's tail to the chief moment?
It's causing quite a buzz.
There was the president at a summit.
Giving a young woman a serious once over.
But when Good Morning America showed video of the same instant...
Seems to be a little different story. Obama may be watching his footing.
You can't blame guys for lowering their gaze when this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model challenges them in a web ad.
Do you think you could beat me in a staring contest? Remember, eyes up here. Ready? Stare.
For 45 seconds, try to get your eyeballs to resist the magnetic pull of cleavage. Perhaps the best advice about cleavage came from Seinfeld. After George got busted.
Get a good look, Costanza? Looking at cleavage is like looking at the sun. You don't stare at it. It's too risky. You get a sense of it, then you look away.
Right. Though unlike cleavage, the problem with looking at the sun is the naked eye. The eye is naked. Ginny Mo, CNN.
My God! I just threw my neck out.
New York.
Well, we go from cleavage to full frontal nudity. Today is Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The celebration known as Fat Tuesday in English is the last day before the Catholic season of Lent. You can see the crew of Zulu Parade here that happened earlier today, and then the festivities will really begin tonight as the beads begin to fly. And now we are going to go straight to our Class Day forecast. Pat, what is it going to look like tomorrow?
Well, as we take a look at our 5-day, you can see the weekend's looking a little rough, but once we hit Sunday, we'll have some nice conditions. And going to the Class Day forecast, we'll be waking up at 38 degrees and steadily increasing as we go throughout the afternoon, topping out at 43.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. That's going to do it for us here tonight at WTOP.
I'm Pat Kaplan.
And I am Dan Myers. Have a great night, and we will see you right here tomorrow.